Mortal Kombat is back, and we all thought it was coming back. We all thought we were going to see reveal of it already, and getting revealed at the Game Awards was definitely that. I did not see that coming, but I was like, finally, Mortal Kombat, and luckily, it's coming out in April, so it's going to be out. We don't have to wait till E3 to see more blah blah blah. No, we're gonna get it's gonna be like Smash and Fighter Z, where like every month we got like more characters being announced, and the hype train will be building up and up and up. And April's not even that far away, guys. That's only like a few months to go. And I feel like we're not going to get one character per month. We're going to get like a chunk of characters every month. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to probably get more gameplay videos each time with more bits of the story being shown off. Now, Mortal Kombat 9 and 10 were really excellent entries in some ways and kind of weird and baffling in other ways, but I really thought that Mortal Kombat 9 did so much good that I thought it was just one of the best Mortal Kombat games I've ever played, period. I thought it was definitely the best one. And I feel like 10 improved in a lot of ways that was very necessary. It learned from the weird stuff they tried doing in Injustice just for fun, and I feel like it's every Mortal Kombat and Injustice game pulls from the past games, and each time it improves. Now I was kind of worried we wouldn't get Mortal Kombat 11 until the next console generation. I'm so glad we're getting it now, and hopefully in the next Injustice will just be the next console generation, and then we get a even cooler Mortal Kombat after that. But for now, that's so far away from now. I mean, think about how long it took from Mortal Kombat 10 to get to this point, and all I want to do is talk about some important things. If you want to learn about the gameplay and stuff, like the different meters and all that, there's definitely videos and coverage out there. But if you've watched Angry Joe's interview with Ed Boon, it gives out some very insightful details. Because when I first heard the story was going to involve time travel, I was very confused. And I was thinking, didn't we already do time travel with Mortal Kombat 9? But Mortal Kombat 9 was about retelling the entirety of Mortal Kombat. And that's why I thought 10 was so cool, because 10 picked up where 9 left off, and in like a futuristic setting. And it was really cool and it's like it went all the way to where like the timeline should be now, and because it introduced characters like Cassie Cage and stuff like that, and I really enjoyed that. And I'm pretty sure it's already a dead giveaway that Cassie Cage is in the game as well as Katana, because in a little developer video they showed Cassie Cage talking, and she says Katana, and it's like it looks like that scene isn't a cutscene from the story. It looks like that's her in an actual fight, so I'm almost positive. Another thing I'm really happy about is in Mortal Kombat 10, the camera is really zoomed up. It makes the characters look really big, which is kind of akin to classic Mortal Kombat, having the really big characters. And Mortal Kombat 9 shrunk everything down to where the characters were really small, and I like that more. Injustice 2 went back to that, and that was one of the first things I noticed about Injustice 2. And in Mortal Kombat 11, it's the same way again, so it's clear to see that that was just a trial and error thing. Mortal Kombat they never try to just make the perfect game. They always try to do something new while fixing all the past mistakes. And so the new stuff is mainly with the meters, and they're doing this really awesome mixture of enhanceable, like all the armors and stuff from Injustice 2, but Injustice 2 you got like 5 pieces that you could change, and it would dramatically change what the character looked like, to basically like letting you customize your own alt costumes. But I actually didn't really like it, because at the end of the day, most of the characters just look the same. Some characters you could take off their hood and you could take off their cape and stuff like that, like Robin, for example. But other characters, yes, you get different masks for Batman. Yes, you get different emblems for Superman. At the end of the day, I kind of would rather just have the alt costumes. Though I do like the color alts, because there were so many different colors. That was really fun. I like stuff like that, for sure. I like stuff like that. And so I'm glad that this is like a mixture of getting special pieces you can customize. Like with Scorpion, you can customize his mask, his sword, and his hook or his spear, and that's perfect. That's literally all I care about. I don't even care about like the pants and stuff like that. And I'd rather have a full-on body and leg piece and arms and everything that is all aesthetically connected, things that go together, instead of having a weird hodgepodge of stuff. And this is definitely what we're getting with Mortal Kombat. We're getting multiple alt costumes, and Ed Boon said in his interview with Angry Joe that there would be a ton of alt costumes, and so that's a really good thing. Because I'm probably, my favorite costume for Scorpion in Mortal Kombat 11 was the Hanzo Hasashi one, where he is just human Scorpion, like before he ever turned. And I'm going to probably stick to something like that. Whereas like with Sub Zero, I'll probably do something again with like a mask or something like that. I like Mask Sub Zero, and but I do like the whole like they have this Sub Zero with like his hair showing, but he's still wearing a mask. I really like what they're doing with that too. And yeah, alt costumes like that they're just awesome. And the one for Sonya makes it look more like a classic Sonya. But it was still like different. I'm really into all that. But I want to talk about the story now because in the story mode, and these costumes are definitely going to be a part of the story mode. In the story mode, it seemed like at first I was afraid it was going to be like Mortal Kombat 9 again, but instead it would have like just random trips to the past and then seeing the effects of it, seeing what happened. So I thought you'd only see like young Liu Kang in the past. But now it's being described to me that the new villain is actually picking out different characters from different points in history, meaning we will have Dark Scorpion from NetherRealm. We will have the good guy Liu Kang. Because now those roles are reversed. Scorpion is on the hero side, and Liu Kang is on the villain side. A lot of the sides have changed dramatically in Mortal Kombat 10, where certain characters that were considered, bad guys are now considered good guys. Some of the good guys are considered bad guys, like the main ones, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and Katana. And then there's just like all these other characters are like mixed in here and there. So, it looks like they're gonna do a thing where they focus on like the classic characters again. Usually, Mortal Kombat games have a large amount of classic characters and then a few new characters here and there. Mortal Kombat 10 went for a pretty decent amount of new characters in favor of old characters and got a lot of those old ones out. First of all, right off the bat, really happy Baraka's in this game. I was like wondering how they're gonna write him into the story, or maybe maybe he'll just be in like flashbacks, kind of like how the Joker was in Injustice 2. It's just like one battle, and it was like a drug trip, and you can get away with that stuff. Just like how like default Liu Kang in the versus mode for Mortal Kombat 10 was not the evil Revenant version, which is kind of a cool idea because it's like, yeah, this is just like an older version of Liu Kang as if he was still alive. Like, why not? So that stuff is really cool. The fact they're doing that is really cool. So I'm hoping like getting like all these different variations of every possible version of every character is a really good idea, and I'm really excited to see what we get here. But so from my understanding is the story, young Liu Kang and young Kung Lao might actually play a much bigger role than I initially thought. At first I thought they were showing them because they might be in like 2 or 3 battles, but it looks like during certain points of the game you'll be playing as young characters and old characters, and that makes the story mode really exciting to me because it's like I don't know what I'll see. I'll probably see a lot of good fan service. Normally, Mortal Kombat 10, actually Mortal Kombat 9, 10, Injustice 1, and Injustice 2 all had amazing fan service moments in the stories. I think Injustice 2 was probably the best story they've done so far. And before that, I don't know, I think Mortal Kombat 9 was probably my favorite. Injustice 2 kind of took the cake. And it's because of how awesome some of the twists were, and I love the execution of the final few chapters. And I also love that it was different depending on which character you picked. So stuff like that was really cool. I don't think we need something like that again. That was this really awesome moment where it's like Superman versus Batman. That was a really super cool moment. It's like you got to pick who you like more. Superman fans, Batman fans have been debating this for a while. So with Mortal Kombat 11, we're getting something really damn cool with I'm assuming. I don't actually know. I don't think we'll get something like choosing between Sub-Zero and Scorpion at the very end or something like that. But we might get to choose something like the fate of Raiden if he's good or evil again, or the fate of what Liu Kang does, or something like that. So the potential for something really damn cool, and the story is really high up there. Um, I feel like anything could happen. In Mortal Kombat 10, a lot of characters were killed off, and it made me think we're not going to see characters in the next game. Like, Melina is playable in Mortal Kombat 10, don't get me wrong, but maybe the reason why Melina was killed off in the story was so that way she wouldn't come back in the next one. And no, there's a very high chance Melina will be in the game again. Same with Jade. We might get Jade coming back. She was absent in 10. People are speculating that Noob or Smoke might be in the game because it seems like in the menus there's a character who looks similar to Noob or Smoke. But to be fair, those characters are referenced in Mortal Kombat 10 all the time. A lot of characters are. Of course, there's also people are really heavily speculating that Rain will be in the game. And like I already said, we already know Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Cassie Cage, and Katana are shoo-ins. We know that's happening. I would really love it if other characters, like, we don't need Cyrex and Sector, but maybe just one of them would be cool. And considering how Sub-Zero has this deep hatred for Sector, making him come back would be awesome. It would be perfect. And we should have at least one cybernetic robot character. And I think that they could do something similar to the cyborg robot character from Mortal Kombat 10, where it was like 3 in 1. It was Triborg, and you got to pick which variation you wanted. They could do something similar to where at least one of the variations gives him Cyrex's abilities, And of course, you can customize characters anyway, so maybe you could just take Sector and turn him into Cyrex, depending on what you're trying to do here. So they could do something like that, but just make it straight up Sector, or they don't have to do anything like that. That also was the replacement for Smoke, and I would love if Smoke was just back, but like, him being a Revenant in Mortal Kombat 10, and I don't think it's clear or not if he ever was like, if he ever recovered from being Revenant. I think he's permanently stuck as one, and I don't think that. I think that if he was just an Earthrealm fighter, it would be fine. But given his position, I don't know if he'll be called upon from the past. So Smoke might be out, which sucks because he's so much fun in Mortal Kombat 9, and most people agree he's fucking awesome. And of course, Noob probably won't be in the game. Well, Noob has a chance. Noob didn't really have any point in the story in Mortal Kombat 10, so I would love to see Noob come back. I feel like he needs to come back. And also, he would be a great threat, again, if they're trying to... Again, if there's a scene where they want to hurt Sub-Zero, bringing back Cyrex or Noob, both of them would be great. Or not Cyrex, Sector. Sector and Noob at the same time, though, however, would really piss off Sub-Zero. So I think that's a good call to bring both of them back. Whether or not we get Smoke or Cyrex, I could live without as long as we got Noob and Sector. I think those are two great characters I would love to see back. Cassie Cage is really the only character of those new 4 characters I really want to see come back. One character was essentially just Green Arrow anyway, and I just don't see why. I don't really think it's necessary to have that character, or the bow and arrow character. And Jackie Briggs was honestly badass, but and she's fun and all, but it's like, really, there's really no point. But I could see them bringing back Jackie Briggs. It would be cool if they brought back Jackie Briggs as well as Jade and just had 2 black female characters. I don't see why they can't do that. Sounds awesome. And Jade is my favorite. Well, Katana's like my favorite, but Jade is like my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I love Katana and Jade so much, and I'm glad if they need to bring Katana back because she's extremely relevant to the story, but it would be really awesome if they use Jade to get to Katana somehow. That would be really cool. So I would really enjoy that. I am hoping to see Kenshi return. As far as other characters from Mortal Kombat 10, like the DLC characters, I think those characters should kind of stay as DLC for Mortal Kombat 10 and not really come back. Tremor is whatever. Who cares? Tanya, I don't care about Tanya. The only characters I care about are the movie characters, and there is a novelty to this game has this specific character. Like, if you want to play as Freddy Krueger and Kratos, you have to play 9. If you want to play as Alien and Jason, you'll have to play Mortal Kombat 10. and that's all fine and dandy. I think there's a lot of people are speculating that there'll be a movie character that is not DLC. That would be cool. It would be nice if they did another crossover character like Kratos was in Mortal Kombat 9, and that really made the PS3 version stand out for me, and it made it a lot of fun to play. I actually really liked it, and also had that it had a God of War 3 base level. That was really cool. I'm not saying I want Kratos back again on the PS4 or something like that, but it would just be really cool if Sony and Microsoft could throw down some extra characters. But then again, with the Switch version coming out, I don't think they're going to do a console exclusive character. So that's not really probably going to happen. But if they do a third party game character, maybe they could do it for a character that is not first party to a particular console. That would also make sense in an R-rated game like Mortal Kombat. Like maybe a lot of people want Bloodborne in Soul Calibur. A lot of people want Bloodborne in so maybe not Bloodborne. Maybe a character from like Demon Souls or whatever, or whatever, like a bloody game basically. What game could work with blood everywhere? A M-rated like hack and slash bloody game. Dante comes to mind, or maybe Nero, but I don't think there's going to be a character of that caliber in Mortal Kombat. But look at the crossovers that Injustice 2 was able to pull off. Look at the insane shit. Who would have ever guessed that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would have appeared in Injustice 2? That is the raddest shit ever. But then you combine the fact that Hellboy is in it, and not to mention both Sub-Zero and Raiden are in it as well. They went so hard with Injustice 2. And it makes me think that if this game doesn't have your favorite Mortal Kombat character on the roster, there's a high chance you might get something really damn cool in the DLC. Again, they went for fan favorites in Injustice 2. I mean, they even included Starfire and Red Hood. So I could really see it happening. But let me just say, I'm not sure about other crossovers as far as video games or other fighting games go, though it would be amazing. But other M-rated game characters could happen. A lot of people wanting Doomguy in Smash. Well, maybe Doomguy would fit better in Mortal Kombat. But also, I mean, anyone from any M-rated game would probably fit perfectly. But as far as movie characters go, there's probably going to be some insane crossovers. I think Spawn is a shoo-in. I think that I don't even know what to think. I just think Spawn is a shoo-in, and I think that we'll see some stuff like that. We'll see some insane movie crossovers for sure. Though I would really love some other game crossovers, considering Mortal Kombat is a game. But we'll have to see what we get. And yeah, this was supposed to be me trying to talk about the story, and I kind of went all over the place talking about Mortal Kombat. But very, 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 very excited about Mortal Kombat 11. NetherRealm games always knock it out of the park. I always find enjoyment with them for months and months and months and come back to them over and over and over. And I even came back to Mortal Kombat 10, played it a few times, and I actually bought Mortal Kombat 9 on my PC just to play it again. And I do not regret that decision. And that was a while ago when I did that. That was a little bit last year when I did that. But it just goes to show like how long Mortal Kombat 9 and 10 live on with me, and I'll never just like completely delete them from my memory or out of my mind. I'll always love every individual Mortal Kombat game, which is more than I can say about Injustice, which I think Injustice 1 does not stand up, and I think Mortal Kombat 9 is still like, I still like that game more than Mortal Kombat 10. So I think Mortal Kombat 11 has the potential to just fucking blow my mind, because it's not that I cared much about Mortal Kombat 10, but I think Injustice 2 took what Mortal Kombat 10 did and perfected it and made it one of my favorite games of all four of them. And so now that we're on the fifth one, Mortal Kombat 11, of these NetherRealm games since Mortal Kombat 9, I feel like this one is going to be even more refined and beautiful and amazing, because they always build off the past game, and not just like the past Mortal Kombat, but they always build off, Injustice and Mortal Kombat build off each other. So I'm really excited. I think this one has potential to have so much to do, so much gameplay to enjoy after you beat the story mode or whatever. So that is important, and I can't wait to play this with my brother, with my friends, and have a good time and killing things and getting the crypt filled out and all that stuff. This is exactly what I love about NetherRealms games. The single player content is amazing every time. So cannot wait for this game. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next one.